Dan Ives of Wedbush maintaining his 325 price target on Salesforce and raising his year-end forecast for Snowflake to 280, writing there is growing speculation that enterprise software budgets have started to shift towards AI initiatives, cannibalizing software spend. But these results represent an important gut punch to the AI ghost trade. Dan joins us now for more. Dan, good morning. Good to see you.
Great to be here.
What is separating the winners and the losers right now in this space?
Look, I mean, at least did a great job talking about it comes down to monetization of AI. And now look, it started off Palantir, then you saw Datadog. Snowflake, I view as really a seminal quarter for the software.
Just describe what they do and why they're in the sweet spot right now.
So if you think about the data layer, what this is really showing is LLMs, as the models are ultimately getting deployed, the data warehousing, who the middle layer. As companies go down the use case path, you need a Snowflake. So the point is that you're trying to now find companies in the second, third, fourth derivative who are actually going to benefit. You have chip players over here. You have the hyperscalers over here. In the middle is a Palantir, is a Snowflake, is a MongoDB. And I think what this shows, I call it the AI ghost trade, you can't just paint every company with the same brush, saying that Anthropic's going to destruct software. Snowflake's basically saying, this is a Jalen Brunson-like quarter.
Just to sort of frame this in a more comprehensive way, when you take a look at Salesforce versus Snowflake, how do you identify a moat that is enough for a software company to be sustainable in an AI era?
Yeah, and Benioff, look, back against the wall, right? And you're talking about 150,000 customers. Now you have to show Agentforce clearly was what I view as a pretty big step in the right direction, but we're still talking 3-4% of revenue. It's not significantly moving the needle. Now you guys show over the next 2, 3, 4 quarters that they're able to monetize 15, 20% of the customer base. And that is right now, I wouldn't call it a race against time, but that's why there's so much pressure on Salesforce, pressure on Oracle, pressure on Adobe. Look what happened to Intuit. And I think that's why it's investors, winners bracket, losers bracket. CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, winners bracket on cybersecurity. Zscaler obviously got put in the losers bracket.
I'm just trying to figure out if there's some sort of generalities we can that we could make about what these brackets of the winners look like and what these brackets of the losers. I mean, I can have the Lisa bot do my taxes, which is why Intuit's struggling. You can potentially have different kinds of homegrown bots do a lot of the different functionality. You can't have somebody manage your cloud data in a comprehensive way, the way that Snowflake is going to do in tandem with Amazon Web Services. So is there some kind of characteristic of what the winning feature really is for software today?
It's one word, it's data. I mean, data is the new oil, the new gold. And who has control over that data? That's what's going to separate winners from the losers. Snowflake, front and center on data. Palantir, front and center on data. LLMs, the models, they're not going to commoditize data. They could commoditize pieces of software. We see a UiPath and some others. You see it on Intuit. So that's why investors are trying to figure out which bracket. If you're in this bracket, stock's up 30-35%, and I think going higher. On the other side, like a Salesforce, they need now to prove it over the next 6-9 months. And Benioff, who's used to being Mount Rushmore, obviously at the top of the mountain, this is, I think, for the first time, a true test. I think they'll ultimately succeed. But this is definitely, pressure environment.
So for Snowflake, if it was a Jalen Brunson quarter, was for Salesforce this like a James Harden quarter?
Oof. I would, and that would be hard, a little too harsh, but I'd say
you just said he has 6 months to prove himself.
Yeah, look, I'd say it's one where if you look at Salesforce right now, they're in a situation where it's a Cleveland Cavaliers situation where you had definitely green shoots, but now you got to prove yourself out. And I think Benioff understands the challenge there, what they need to do, but it comes down to investors need to see execution, monetization. That's going to be front and center.
What wouldn't you touch in tech right now?
Well, look, to me, I think you want
to sell. What would you avoid?
You want to continue to own chips. You want to continue in software. I think the areas, like if I look at where Adobe plays into it, I think IT services is areas you want to, right now, I think avoid in terms of, some of those components. And I think it's the legacy names, specifically in software and infrastructure, that you don't think that they're going to be able to turn around. I think it's truly a stock picker's market in terms of what we're seeing here play out.
Can we finish on Tesla? SpaceX IPO later this year. It's going to be a blockbuster, massive numbers we're talking about here. And then an additional sideline conversation, whether Tesla becomes one with SpaceX. What do you think about that as an analyst?
I think that is, we've talked about it, it's the no-brainer move. We think 80 to 85% chance that we're sitting here a year from now, SpaceX and Tesla have gone down the aisle in terms of marriage. Because to me, that is one, in SpaceX clearly being from an IPO perspective, you had the XAI, integrated there. But when it comes to Tesla, from a data perspective, from AI, from an engineering cross-pollination, I think that's the grand vision for Musk. And I just continue to view this is a step process, but I think that the extremely high chance that that's emerged.
What does SpaceX get out of it?
Well, for them, you get the data, you get the engineering, you get ultimately what I view as autonomous physical AI, combined with what SpaceX bring, obviously, on the space and when it comes to Starlink and the foundation. And look, there already is cross-pollination between Tesla and SpaceX, but I think this would really be more of an official sort of combination. I think it's all part of the grand vision of Musk, in terms of he's almost building out his own, just like NVIDIA and The Godfather, they're making stakes in companies. Musk has almost done it really step by step here.